Hey, welcome to the TMT channel. I'm your 10-minute teacher. I am a chartered accountant who makes under 10-minute videos to explain all accounting concepts of class 11 and class 12. Let's go. In today's video, we are going to be learning about basic accounting terms. Knowledge of these terms is absolutely essential to have a solid foundation in accounts. So, let's start. First one, capital. Owner's contribution in cash or kind to the business is called capital. Owner अपने business में जो भी पैसे लगाएगा is called capital. Next, drawings. Drawings is owner's withdrawals in cash or kind from the business. एक ओनर के लिए उसका बिजनेस इज हिज ओनली सोर्स ऑफ इनकम, देयरफॉर उसके पर्सनल एक्सपेंसेस मीट करने के लिए ओनर विल टेक मनी आउट ऑफ द बिजनेस. मनी गोइंग आउट ऑफ द बिजनेस वाया द ओनर इज कॉल्ड ड्रॉइंग्स. सो टू समराइज, ओनर से जो पैसा आता है बिकम्स योर कैपिटल एंड ओनर को जो पैसा जाता है बिकम्स योर ड्रॉइंग्स. नेक्स्ट, डेटर्स. A debtor is a person who owes money to the business. अगर बिजनेस को किसी से पैसे लेने हैं, then that person becomes a debtor. So, next is creditors, the exact ulta of debtors. A person to whom the business owes money. अगर बिजनेस को किसी को पैसे चुकाने हैं या किसी को पैसे देने हैं, then that person becomes a creditor. Next, let's look at assets. An asset is anything that the business owns or anything that is receivable for the business or anything that the business owns that has value. Let's understand assets better by subdividing them into two types. First, fixed assets and next, current assets. Let's look at fixed assets first. Fixed assets are those assets which are not intended for resale. They are intended on increasing the earning capacity of the business. There are two types of fixed assets. First, tangible fixed asset. These assets are those that have a physical existence. For example, plant and machinery, land, building, etc. Second, intangible fixed assets are those fixed assets which do not have a physical existence. For example, computer software, goodwill, patents, etc. Now that we have learnt fixed assets, tangible and intangible, let's move on to current assets. Current assets are those assets which are held for resale. Current assets are those which are intended to be converted into cash within a short duration. For example, stock of goods, debtors, cash in hand, bank balance, etc. Next, let's look at liabilities. Money that the business owes to outsiders is called liability. We learnt about creditors earlier. Creditors are an example of a liability. Also, if the business takes a loan, that loan becomes a liability. Now, if you're enjoying learning this style of accounts, learn each chapter from me. I'm organizing a chapter-wise crash course in Jan-Feb 2024 right before your exams, ताकि last-minute preparation, last-minute revision एकदम perfect होना चाहिए. No need to pay for the full subject. Pay only for the chapters of your choice at a reasonable 199 per chapter. Join my Telegram group for further details on the crash course. You can scan the QR code available in front of you or click on the link in the description box below. See you. Now, let's get back to accounting. Goods. Goods are the items that the business deals in. For example, for Apple, iPhones are goods. AirPods are goods. iPads are goods, etc. If we talk about Nike, Nike के लिए sports shoes are goods. Sports wear is goods. Sports gear is goods. But let's not confuse. Apple जैसी कंपनी के लिए sports shoes goods कभी नहीं होगा. एंड नाइकी जैसी कंपनी के लिए आईफोन्स गुड्स कभी नहीं होगा. जैसे जिसका बिजनेस वैसे उसके गुड्स. डोंट एवर कंफ्यूज दिस. नेक्स्ट, परचेजेस एंड सेल्स. अगर मैं किसी सप्लायर से गुड्स खरीद रहा हूँ, आई एम मेकिंग परचेजेस. एंड अगर मैं वही गुड्स किसी कस्टमर को बेच रहा हूँ, देन आई एम मेकिंग सेल्स. परचेजेस एंड सेल्स के बाद क्या होता है? प्रॉफिट और लॉस. प्रॉफिट इज व्हेन सेलिंग प्राइस इज ग्रेटर देन द कॉस्ट प्राइस. And loss is when cost price is greater than the selling price. Next, let's look at bad debts. Bad debts are debtors who are unable to pay what they owe. Debtors are people who owe money to the business. What happens when they become insolvent or they become bankrupt? They will not be able to pay us what they owe. Therefore, that entire money becomes a loss for us. That loss is nothing but bad debts. Now let's look at transaction. For a deal to be called a transaction, it must satisfy three conditions. First, there should be two or more parties. Second, there should be monetary worth. And thirdly, there should be an exchange of goods or performance of services. Only when all of these three conditions are satisfied can a deal be called a transaction. There are two types of transactions. First, cash transaction. A cash transaction is one which is immediately settled either in cash or in check. No udhar. Abhi maal lo, abhi paise do. That is it. And the second type of transaction is a credit transaction. A credit transaction is basically udhari ka transaction. Buy now, pay later. Credit transactions give rise to debtors and creditors. अगर आप उधार पे माल बेच रहे हैं, in your books, debtors increases because they owe you money. And अगर आप उधार पे माल खरीद रहे हैं, then you owe money to them. Therefore, creditors increases. Now, this is what it feels like to learn basic accounting terms under 10 minutes. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and share this video with all your friends. Everyone should know that accounts can be learned under 10 minutes. See you.